It's worth reminding people on the left that there are legal pathways to become a U.S. citizen. Let's speak to some of those who waited in line and chose to do things the right legal way, like G. Van Fleet, Peter Lumage, and Cherie Murray. They're all joining us now. Thanks to all of you for joining us tonight. I guess, Cherie, why don't we start with you? We normally think of a place where, in the United States, where we resolve our differences politically without violence as one of the great benefits of this country. In fact, I assume that's what a lot of people who are immigrants want to get away from. What do you think of when you watch this effort to essentially terrorize and intimidate to force a change in policy?
Good evening, Dagan and James. It's a pleasure to be with you guys this afternoon. And so my thoughts, having migrated to this great nation legally, I am in awe. What we're seeing happening in California is not only disgusting, it's un-American. I mean, there's a segment of the population that has become increasingly hawkish on immigration, and that's legal migrants like myself. You know, I came to this country legally. I got my education here. I'm proud to be an American citizen. And I have children who are first generation American citizens. And I am just saddened to see that when federal agents are executing federal law, that they're met with such resistance by not just agitators, but organized protesters, rioters in California.
You managed to survive Mao's Cultural Revolution. Put what we're seeing here in California with the Democrats and the language of control, the lack of a will to stand up for law and order. Put that in perspective based on what you saw in communist China.
This is a Marxist revolution. It's more than a riot. And this makes me very, very angry to see these people. They're not illegal immigrants. They are illegal aliens. They walk across our border, and then they despise America, and they hate America. And this, to me, is absolutely never be tolerated. And I think that we should absolutely carry out the mass deportation. We cannot have people here who hate America, who want to destroy America. And I just want to say, people like me, we came here legally, and we waited in line, and we followed the rules, and we love this country. And that's what we want. We want legal immigration. We want the people who can contribute, who love this country.
Peter, can you tell us about your pathway into the United States and what you think of as you watch what's happening in LA and other cities now?
Well, when my brothers and I escaped communist Albania 36 years ago, we never thought that we're going to have to deal with this madness that we left behind in Eastern Europe. When my brothers and I escaped Albania, my parents and my siblings were taken to a concentration camp, and my father was tortured to death because he had refused, or he had failed to notify the government that we wanted to escape and search for freedom and opportunity. The biggest concern that we should have over here is not the illegals in the United States doing what they are doing. It is the elected officials who are supporting them. When you look at Chris Murphy from the state of Connecticut, or Ilhan Omar, and they had the privilege and being members of the United States Congress, and they are encouraging these people to dismantle the very fabric of what made this nation great. That is the biggest concern that we should have. We should support the law enforcement. We should support ICE. We should support President Trump. We should support law and order. If America fails, the whole world is going to fail. Arnold Toynbee years ago said that great civilizations are not murdered. They commit suicide. What the West is doing, including the United States, is committing suicide when we're importing people who have disdain and hatred for the greatest country in the world that has provided refuge to them.
Cherie, when you see these rioters waving the flag of another nation, what does that make you feel?
It's totally disgusting. And we heard the president say today, for those who want to burn our American flag, they should be put in jail for at least a year. I mean, not only are we seeing Mexican flags being waved in California during these riots. We're seeing Palestinian flags. And it's just disheartening to know that, our military has fought so hard to keep us American citizens free. And so I wish that things will settle down as we're seeing that it's coming to a calm right now. But that's because the president deployed the National Guard and he has, the Marines on reserve waiting just in the event that something might escalate. But the lawmakers out there, Gavin Newsom, Mayor Bass, even Maxine Waters, they're fanning the flames and they're playing petty politics and blaming the administration for bringing in security. He was elected on an overwhelming mandate to keep Americans safe. That's what he's doing.
Peter, we got time for one more, and that relates to this issue. When you watch people attempt to change policy with street violence, does that bring back bad memories for you?
Absolutely. This is very well organized, very well coordinated, and I believe very well financed by the Marxists and the communists in this country. And what we have to do, we have to dismantle that evil ideology that is coming to the United States. Socialism, unfortunately, is here, but it must be defeated. And the only way to defeat it is what President Trump is doing. We have to identify these people who want to do harm to our families here in the United States, and we have to deport the ones who shouldn't be here. So absolutely perturbs me that my kids are growing up to see what I left behind in Eastern Europe, as I said 36 years ago.
Really quickly, a final word to you.
Yeah, this is the Marxist communist revolution. This is the BMM 2022 repeat. So this is not just about immigration or illegal immigration. This is about America. We have to defend our country. Mass deportation.
Peter, Cherie, thank you all so much.